The UK finance system has a superpower: community development finance institutions. Here's what a few CDFI champions have to say.
As the Minister for Small Business, I value the work that CDFIs do around the country with both businesses and individual borrowers. And the core value of CDFIs is their focus on the customer as a person, understanding their circumstances and supporting their potential. The responsible finance movement is uniquely well placed to ensure that it can build that better. And I'm looking forward to working with you to that end.
They do a brilliant job. I've got a fantastic one in Yorkshire. Business Enterprise Fund does brilliant work, fantastic work through the coronavirus crisis. The big difference really, I think, with the big banks and CDFIs is they've got this real local connection. They really understand their community base. They can be more flexible on who they'll lend to and why, because they get real understanding of that business in the way bank managers used to work. It's not about credit committees, it's about local relationships. So what we want to see is, yes, to support the sector, but also to grow the sector, to give SMEs more choice when it comes to looking for SME finance.
CDFIs have got a really important role to play in financing small businesses and helping the country recover from the past year. I know that through the work of the Black Country Reinvestment Society in my own area. These organisations play a really important role sometimes when a business has a great idea but it can't get bank financing. And as we try to recover from COVID, we need all parts of the financial system firing on all cylinders. And I believe that CDFIs have got a really important part to play in that.
As place-based lenders, I think that CDFIs have two quite distinctive characteristics that mean that they make a really unique contribution in building stronger and more inclusive local economies. Firstly, their business model is centred around a social mission, a mission to serve the needs of underserved businesses. And secondly, they're rooted in their places and communities, which means they understand the needs of those businesses and are able to reach many that others can't or won't. In turn, those businesses can go on to create employment and wider social and economic benefits in their communities.
Still in 2021, the exclusion of millions of individuals from basic financial services is a blight on our society.
The CDFI community has been incredibly important in our work, notably in the Startup Loans programme, where the majority of our delivery partners are CDFIs. Through that programme, we have supported over 75,000 businesses all across the UK to start up and grow their businesses. And we've provided great support to female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs from an ethnic minority background, and people who were formerly unemployed and wanted to start their own business.
I'm Susan Kramer, a Liberal Democrat peer and passionate supporter of CDFIs. It's time to support the creation of a network of community banks and community development financial institutions. Only they can understand local issues in such a way that they enable community development, and they also begin to draw in the financially excluded.
I'm very keen to endorse the work of community development finance institutions. Basically, we need lenders whose interests align with those of the community as a whole, not just the interests of the shareholders of a business. And that's a totally different form of lending to the one that we are so familiar with. And it's why I think CDFIs are so important. They're more flexible in the way that they lend and they work. They don't have blanket lending policies. They don't rule out specific sectors or even companies with a bad credit history. They can apply real human judgment to the decisions they make about lending. And now is the time that we need to invest in CDFIs and get this part of the finance economy moving really properly. If you think about what happened after 2008, the credit crunch meant that lending to small and medium-sized enterprises and social enterprises really contracted. And we've got to avoid that happening in the aftermath of COVID. We've got some brilliant providers in this country, amazing lenders doing brilliant work locally. I support the work of all of these institutions, and I really believe that the government should get behind them, and I hope that the capital system as a whole will get behind CDFIs and enable them to play the role that they should in the recovery and in the future financial and economic settlement for our country.
Now more than ever, communities across the UK need the type of finance and relationship-based support that CDFIs provide. To step in, the sector must grow. So join us in spreading the word about CDFIs. So together, we can improve access to finance so that more people, businesses, and communities are able to prosper.